Okay, welcome to this Infinity Grid presentation. Please watch this video. It's only going to be about 14 minutes long. I promise it's going to be well worth your time. Just want to get into Infinity Grid's why. Okay, Infinity Grid is developed and run by us, we the people, with the goal of wanting to bless everyone and allow more time freedom for themselves and their families. How many of you have ever been scammed? I believe all of us have had the dream of becoming financially free and have at one time or the other thought that we finally found that one, right? Only to watch it fall apart. I know it sounds cliche, but Infinity Grid is the exact platform that can help achieve all the goals you've ever wanted to achieve. Now, Infinity Grid is a decentralized peer-to-peer app-based smart contract that cannot be shut down. It's so much more than a gifting platform. In fact, this gifting aspect is only about 20% of what Infinity Grid is all about. Now, why do gifting programs fail? First of all, I've never been a fan of gifting at all until Infinity Grid. But the number one reason they fail is because participants fail to bring in others, which causes the programs to stall. I'm sure we all have heard the saying, you're only as strong as your weakest link. Well, that's not the case with Infinity Grid. With our shuffling fail-safe, it enables success, and it will sideline those people who are not verified, which will allow for all others to continue without much delay at all. Infinity Grid uses algorithms and AI and fail-safes, and that will ensure for everyone who is verified to be successful. IG can help turn $100, which is a one-time out-of-pocket expense, into $40,000 over and over again. I promise you. So just watch this presentation and see if you're not as excited as I am about this. So Infinity Grid, let's look at your journey. When you come into Infinity Grid, again, it's a one-time gift of $100 that comes out of your pocket. You gift the victor, who is basically the participant in the middle of the board. They will confirm you on the board, and you will start moving through the boards. Now, how does your journey start? It starts after you've gifted the victor. You have to find two pollinators, is what they are called. Two people, two friends, families, whoever. Just two like-minded people that will come in and do the exact same thing. They come in and they gift the victor $100. Once you do that, your position is verified, and it's only a one and done time. You need that one position needs to be verified. You start off as a pollinator, where you take the $100, you gift the victor, and you are on the $100 grid. Next, as you wait your turn on the grid, by people on your team pushing you through the boards, through the different grids or the different positions, you become a scout, then a guardian, then you become the victor. This is what all the grids look like. There are 4 different positions. Now, there's a $100 position, a $400 position, a $1,500 position or grid, and a $3,000 position or grid. Basically, you spend you're on the $100 grid, eight times you receive 8 $100 gifts, and then you move on to the $400 grid, and then the 15, then the 3,000. Now, what happens when you bring in your 2 people and they don't do anything? Maybe they never do anything. Maybe it just takes them a while to get there too. Well, not only do we have a marketing system that's free to everyone on our team that will help you get your 2, but let's say you don't. Let's say you come in. In fact, we had it happen the other day where someone was on the grid for about 6 days. They were next in line, to be the victor, but they only had one person. They were not verified. Someone came in that exact same day and they jumped them, just as in this explanation here. You see the pollinator has 2 and is verified. We'll jump everyone and go to the victor when the victor has received its 8 payments and is now off to the next grid. So the grid's explained. This is an example of a full grid. You see the 4 pollinators on the left and on the right. Now, what happens when the grid splits? It looks just like this. So once you have a full board, it splits, and this is exactly what it looks like. Now, movement through these honeycombs. You have honeycomb 1 and honeycomb 2. When you start off on honeycomb 1. You gift the $100. You wait your turn until you're the victor. Once you're the victor, you receive $800 in payments. You move on to the $400 board. From the $400 board, when the 100, let me back up. When the 100 is complete in honeycomb 1, you now take $100 of the 800 you just received and enter honeycomb 2. You also take 100 of that and you enter the infinity loop, which is H1. You also continue on in honeycomb 1 at the $400 grid or position. Now, think about it. You are on 3 different grids right now. You're on the honeycomb 1, $400. You're on the infinity loop, 100, and you are on the honeycomb 2, 100. When the honeycomb 2, 100 is complete, now you enter in infinity loop 2 at the $100. And you see, as these complete, you go through, and you will soon be done with honeycomb 1 and honeycomb 2. When that happens, as you're going through all these, receiving all these gifts, all you have is infinity loop that can loop over and over and over again. Now, the infinity loop explained. You enter in position 1 and then in position 2. Once you are the victor in infinity loop 1, you now enter into the same grid in infinity loop 2. Now, how much abundance can you create? Let's look at this. Honeycomb 1 creates $40,000 of abundance. Honeycomb 2, $40,000. Now, this does not include the gifts that you gift to the victors on the boards. Let me make that clear. So it's a little bit less than $40,000, but still, you get my point. When you're in the infinity loop, it's a continuous cycle, and that's $80,000. Now, you can clone your position. A clone can happen as soon as you complete the $100 position in grid, the honeycomb 1. You can clone another position. Now, when you clone a position, it requires 2 new pollinators, 2 new people. So you have to bring in 2 new people per clone position, and you can have up to 4 cloned positions, which looks like this. Now, again, you don't have to clone if you don't want. Now, it's a total, if you max out everything, it's a total of 40 positions. Now, the family tree, as you come in, you have to bring in 2 pollinators. They fall on your left and on your right. As they come in, it's basically referred to as a binary. Then your direct one finds 1 and 2, and this is how it looks. Now, the overflow explained. Let's say you're only required to bring in 2 people, and I would recommend that if you have a 3rd person or a 4th person or 10th person ready to come in, that you just use someone on your team's referral link to help them out that might need 1 or 2. And you'll be able to see that in your back office. You'll be able to see everyone in your genealogy who needs help, which is ideal because this is, again, a community that helps everybody. But if you happen to bring in a 3rd person, the system just finds your shortest leg, and that is where that direct person falls. Now, what separates Infinity Grid as well from other gifting platforms is the pay it forward system. The way this works is you can pay it forward. And if you're making $5,000 a week or a month or whatever the case may be, why not take 1,000 of that or 100 of that or 500 of that and buy 5 pay it forward positions? Basically what you're doing is you can log into your account, you can click pay it forward, and now you can pay the victor for that particular position, and you can offer that paid position to someone on your team that needs a pollinator or two, that needs to be verified. Now, all they do is they go out, they find one of their friends or someone with a gifted position that's not going to cost anybody anything. They're excited because they get to come into this gifting platform or a program without ever coming out of pocket, but they need to know that they have to bring in 2 pollinators. Now you have all these mini marketers going out there from a pay it forward standpoint, finding 2 people. The pay it forward, once they wait their turn on grid 1, they become the victor. They receive 8 $100 payments. In order for them to move on to the second $400 grid, they now must pay it forward. So you have a whole community of pay it forwards that are just growing and growing and growing, and they're paying it forward and they're paying it forward. And then you have another community of just the regular people that paid out of their own pocket. Now, what sets IG apart? First of all, we have a digital product that is from a third-party company that will blow your mind. It should be out in about May or June of 2023. It does involve advertising, but I will tell you it will 3 to 4x your current income with Infinity Grid. There's nothing more you have to do, and it's not going to cost you anything out of pocket. So this is amazing. And I really can't say much more about it. I had to sign an NDA, but it will blow your mind. We have the pay it forward position that we spoke about. We have a team power. Now, what's nice about the team power is as you come in, it's your team that pushes you through these grids. And they'll push you through to the next position and the next position. Now, when you get to the infinity loop, you have the community power. You have cross-pollination. You got people from the entire community coming together, pushing you through the infinity grids. And it's just a wonderful, it's a wonderful community that just helps everybody. We have the shuffling. What that basically means, if someone's not doing their part, they're not getting their 2 pollinators, they get shuffled to the side, or they get passed over. If they're on a grid, they'll get passed over and they have to wait. They have to continue to wait until they're verified. The cloning, again, you can clone up to 4 positions and it will 4x your income. There's only 1 person per profile because we have an app that will soon be available, and that app only works for 1 phone number at a time. We have a training academy. We have a whole system of how-tos that you have access to 24 hours a day. Now, are you ready for this? Just simply contact the person that sent you to this opportunity, and let's get started.